में तो जहाँ देखो ओपन स्पेसेस है, ज़मीन है, plotted developments है, and it's been there for a while. When we talk about Mumbai, it has expanded in a very different way. It has expanded vertically. It's the financial capital of the country, and it's not been able to spread horizontally, but every time it does, there is huge scope for all of us to participate. I think Deepak Sharma, when he came on stage, he did talk about the number of millionaires that sit out of Delhi. Mumbai, for example, 2.5 crore की आबादी के साथ, it is home to $60,000 millionaires. And much more surprising when I saw these figures, there are 240 centimillionaires जिनके पास 80 crore का net worth. There's a lot of wealth in Mumbai, right? And Mumbai का, as a result, the real estate market जो है, वो काफी लाजवाब है. Let's just go back a little bit. Let's talk about the history of Mumbai. कैसे expand किया है. On the left, when you see, this is back in 1972. मैं पैदा भी नहीं हुआ था तब. At that time, Mumbai was enclosed on all three sides by the sea. ज़्यादा दादर तक उसकी सीमा थी, जहाँ population का expanse था. Cut to about 20 years later, in 1992, the borders of Mumbai, the population had expanded to Bhiwandi in the north and Navi Mumbai. It was getting populated. And that's when it started to expand a little horizontally. सन 2000 में we saw the emergence of Thane on the back of the dot-com boom, on the back of infrastructure projects, a lot of economic activity. And then 10 years later, that population in Thane saw a 60% jump. So year on year, we've seen Bombay or the population kind of expand towards the east, क्योंकि उसी तरफ हो सकता है. If you look at South Mumbai, the population density was, if you include Dharavi at that time, was about 36,000 people per square kilometer. The western suburbs, जो Bandra कहलाता है, had about 26,000. Navi Mumbai, about 5,000. And then finally southeast, which is where the city is going to undoubtedly expand, the KHOPOLI Karjat belt, which is of interest to us. If you see, Mumbai's land can be considered a blue chip investment. There are different locations. If you see historically, there's been immense wealth created. If you look at Bhiwandi in the north, सन 2015 में जो ज़मीन 900 रुपए पर स्क्वायर फीट में बिक रही थी, वो अब 7,000 में है. If you look at Kalyan, that has also seen about 6.4x growth in 9 years. Panvel towards the east and Karjat both have seen surprising results as well over time. And this is exactly why we are bringing to your notice that you will see an exact same, actually much more kind of trajectory for what we are about to show you. Mumbai, the land is expanding, but it's not just that, right? It is also, if you look at the air corridor, that is also a sign of things to come. The Mumbai airport right now is one of the world's busiest single runway airports, right? इसमें सालाना करीब 5 crore passengers travel. I was surprised to know that almost every 78 seconds there's a flight that takes off or lands. That's how busy it is. And it is congested. It is really, really congested. If you see, now actually it is Mumbai's turn to witness this kind of a transformative power, right? There is, with the advent of a new airport. If you see, towards the east, we have the Navi Mumbai International Airport. It's almost completed. In fact, in another 6 months, we'll see this really come to life. This particular airport will have 4 terminals, 2 runways, and will have the capacity to manage 9 crore passengers. जो current terminal है वो 5 crore संभालता है. An additional 9 would mean total 14 crore passengers would be herded through this Mumbai, the 2 terminals that you have. It's basically double the size of the current airport. And you know, every time there's a new airport that comes in, there's a lot of economic activity that follows. 6 months from now, you will see complete multimodal connectivity towards this airport. This particular airport, I don't know if you guys know, was designed by Zaha Hadid Architects. Zaha Hadid, unfortunately, is no more, but her excellent team has been responsible for a lot of key seminal work that has happened outside of Saudi and the Middle East. There's almost about 18,000 crore that the Adani Group has put in for construction, and this is going to lead to the creation of more than 400,000, 4 lakh direct and indirect jobs. It's not just an airport though, right? Because it goes beyond that. It's an ecosystem. If you see, because of this particular airport coming up, there is the redistricting of a new smart city of sorts, right? Almost 2,000 acres of a mega logistics hub that gets created. This particular airport, as we already know, is going to be double the size of the current terminal. And there's an entire belt of a tourism zone that is also going to be created as a result of this. Let's expand our vision beyond this particular airport. We have something called the NENA. For those of you who are not aware, this is the Navi Mumbai Airport Influence Notified Area. It's a smart city. It's India's first almost 90,000 acre of planned development, which is happening near a metropolitan region. By about, in another 10 years, we are going to see in phases, of course, in 11 different phases, the development of almost about 25,000 hectares of land. CIDCO estimates that there's going to be private investment as well as other corporate investment worth 20 to 30,000 crore that is going to flow in for infrastructure development. And it's of course projected to create anywhere with between 500,000 to 1 million jobs. It's a game changer, right? Now, a lot of us can wonder, yes, there is an impact on real estate. There's some proven cases. Every time there's a new airport, history gawah hai. If you see the Bangalore airport, what's now known as the Kempegowda International Airport, on the left, property prices you can clearly see over the last 10 odd years have given almost 4x returns. And this is, you know, 10 years ago, I remember I studied in Bangalore, I worked in Bangalore at that point of time. North Bangalore में जिस जगह ये airport बना था, वहाँ जगह में खेतीबाड़ी होती थी, वहाँ जगह में कोई जाता नहीं था, पर सिर्फ 10 साल में a mega airport, it's actually one of the most beautiful airports in the country, that has come up, and as a result, locations like Hebbal, locations like Yelanka, Devanahalli, these have been suddenly, they've mushroomed as far as real estate pricing is concerned. The same case is happening closer to home, Greater Noida, the Jewar airport. ये अभी तक डिलीवर नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन उसके पहले ही we are seeing a lot of returns, almost 3x returns that have happened since the announcement. And the moment it opens, everyone that has already invested in this is clearly going to go home with big bags of money. It's the same story that repeats, right? And it's important to note that opportunities like this don't come very often, right? And as a result, what we have with KHOPOLI as a location, which is going to be undoubtedly Mumbai's next big growth nucleus. Little bit more about KHOPOLI, because I am from Bombay. I have traveled a lot of times between Mumbai and Pune. रास्ते में एक्सप्रेसवे पे KHOPOLI तो दिख ही जाता है, काफ़ी बार हम तो गए हैं. But for those of you who haven't, it is going to be the heartbeat of the coming 10 years. At the moment, right now, as of now, when we stand, KHOPOLI is 80 minutes away from south of Bombay with the new Atal Setu, that bridge that has come over. It is about 40 minutes from the upcoming Navi Mumbai International Airport. And it is just a 10 minutes detour from the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. Just 7 minutes away from KHOPOLI is the Imagica theme park. It's an amusement park, it's one of India's best, and more than about 5 lakh people go and visit this particular theme park every year. With the advent of some really era-defining infra projects, this is what makes KHOPOLI very interesting, right? The Atal Setu, हमने कभी नहीं देखा था, almost 20 मिनट लगते हैं उस पुल को पार करने के लिए. It's completely built on the sea. It is being extended further. So the Atal Setu extension project is something that is going to bring KHOPOLI even closer to the south. Similarly, the multimodal corridor, the Virar Alibag wala jo corridor hai, that is going to bring a lot of North Bombay closer to KHOPOLI as well. And finally, the Missing Link project, jo जिसमें काफी सारे one of the most widest tunnels that will reduce travel time between Pune and KHOPOLI as well. So you suddenly see it's becoming much more attractive to the main cities. I think I've said enough. A brand new airport unveiling, the emergence of a new smart city, Naina, and of course committed infrastructure projects from private and other corporates as well. This can only mean one thing: explosive returns, right? What we've come to define as multi-bagger returns. I'll just paint you a quick picture before I move on. Year on year, as we see from now till 2030, there are certain earmarked projects that are going to come to completion. Firstly, we'll have the airport being delivered, which is definitely going to give almost about 1.5 times the jump. You're going to have a lot of these data centers by Google, by Yota Data, that are going to come up within this NAINA notified area. By about 2027, we are going to have a lot of the phases of this L&T developed NAINA city further getting unlocked. Almost about, Reliance has committed almost about 60,000 crores towards bringing an economic hub in place. And then finally, all the way up till 2030. If you hold it till then, we're going to have the most returns we've seen through any airport. This is what is projected by our experts. I'm going to stop now, and I'd like to sort of take a break and focus on something slightly more, less intense rather, right? As part of our Spotlight series, we've always attempted to bring you some interesting conversations, some personal experiences, and anecdotes from some real life experts, whether it is infrastructure, tourism, the world of business. So I'd like to first call upon our Chief Growth Officer, Pawan Sarda. Please come on stage. And the floor is yours to invite a special guest.
I hope आप लोगों को मजा आ रहा है. So good. आज हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं. जब मैं एंटर कर रहा था होटल में तो लोगों ने एक्चुअली मुझे पूछा कि सर आ रहे हैं क्या हमसे बात करने के लिए, और मैं भी इक्वली एक्साइटेड था. So we have today India's top content creator. He has 1.4 crore followers, guys, across the globe. Right? वो कंटेंट क्रिएट करते हैं, इंडिया को इंस्पायर करते हैं, हम सबको इंस्पायर करते हैं. आई एम श्योर ईच वन ऑफ यू हैव काइंड ऑफ कम अक्रॉस दिस कंटेंट एंड फेल्ट कि क्या बात करता है, राइट? एंड ही इज अ फाइनेंशियल गुरु, सो वो इन्वेस्टमेंट की भी काफ़ी बात करते हैं. बेस्ट सेलिंग बुक जो उन्होंने लिखी है, सो ऑलमोस्ट 1 million copies, guys. Do epic shit, right? That's his book which he's written, and he has a community of 4.2 lakh students जो इनसे सीखते हैं. So it gives me great honor to invite Mr. Ankur Warikoo here. So with us today, he's going to share his experience. कर रहा था और मुझे लगा कि मैं अपने किसी दोस्त से बात कर रहा हूँ. आई थिंक दैट्स हाउ यू मेड मी फील कंफर्टेबल, अंकुर. या थैंक यू फॉर दैट.
थैंक यू.
सो विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम, अंकुर, आई एम श्योर एवरीबडी वांट्स टू नो मोर अबाउट यू, और आपके बारे में बहुत कुछ जानना चाहते हैं. आई एम श्योर आप सब ने इनके यूट्यूब वीडियोस देखे हैं, राइट गाइस?
जिन्होंने नहीं देखे हैं, लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब. आप में से कितने लोग दिल्ली में पले बड़े? शो ऑफ हैंड्स. दिल्ली में पले बड़े हैं? ओके. एंड कितने लोग गुड़गांव से हैं? दिल्ली में गुड़गांव से पले बड़े? ऑल राइट. एंड बाकी सब लोग फिर कहीं और से अब दिल्ली में हैं या दिल्ली में काम करते हैं, एंड सो ऑन. सो इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ इंटरेस्टिंग वन. एंड हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हियर आर बिलो द एज ऑफ 35? बिलो द एज ऑफ 35? 35 साल से कम उम्र के. ओके. दिल से नहीं, उम्र से, आधार कार्ड से. ओके, ठीक है, परफेक्ट. दैट्स अ गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग. मैं सिर्फ समझना चाहता था कि कैसा क्राउड है, एंड देन वी विल गेट इन. बट पवन, ओवर टू यू.
Great. So Ankur, what all of us we want to know that what made Ankur Warikoo the Ankur Warikoo. So we want to know about your journey, especially your childhood days.
बिल्कुल.
What was it like? And your connection with land, right? Like, did you have any? So we'd love to hear your thoughts, your story.
Sure. तो मैं दिल्ली में ही पला बड़ा. जो लोग दिल्ली से हैं शायद जानते होंगे, मैं लाजपत नगर एरिया में रहता था. कोई लाजपत नगर से है इंसिडेंटली? कोई भी नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. बट हाँ, तो लाजपत नगर में पढ़ा बहुत ही मिडिल क्लास साधारण फैमिली. पापा जो है वो फार्मा इंडस्ट्री में सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग रोल करते थे, जो पवन करते हैं रियल एस्टेट में. मॉम प्राइमरी स्कूल में टीचर थी, एक छोटी बहन है. और वो मिडिल क्लास इंडिया 1980-1990 की जद्दोजहद अगर आपको याद होगी, स्पेशली दोज हु आर अबव 35, बहुत अलग देश था. इट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट एनवायरनमेंट दैट वी ग्रू अप इन. हर चीज़ के लिए वेट करनी पड़ती थी, लाइनों में खड़ा होना पड़ता था, चाहे वो दूध लेना हो, चाहे वो फ़ोन का कनेक्शन हो, चाहे वो घड़ी भी खरीदनी हो, स्कूटर लेना पड़े. एंड ऑफ कोर्स द वर्ल्ड हैज चेंज्ड रिमार्केबली. And I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, will relate to this कि मिडिल क्लास भारतीय परिवार का सिर्फ एक ही अरमान होता है कि किराए के घर से बाहर निकलना है. किराए का घर नहीं होना चाहिए. एंड आई डिस्टिंक्टली रिमेंबर दैट वाज द एम्बिशन. और ज़मीन एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो हर एक इंसान कहीं ना कहीं चाहता है, लेकिन शायद हमें पता था कि यार हमारी कभी हैसियत ही नहीं होगी, हमारी कभी औकात ही नहीं होगी कि हम ज़मीन खरीद पाएँ. अगर घर मिल जाए वही काफ़ी है. लाजपत नगर और दिल्ली की भी ये लाइक बॉम्बे वाले ये समझ नहीं पाते हैं कि हमें ज़मीन से एक अलग ही प्यार है. हम एक तो बंगलों में रहते हैं, अपार्टमेंट्स का कल्चर बहुत नया है गुड़गांव में। तो दिल्ली में अगर आप पले बड़े हैं तो एवरीथिंग इज अबाउट ग्राउंड फ्लोर, जिसमें सबसे ज़्यादा ओहदा होगा, मकान मालिक ग्राउंड फ्लोर पर रहेगा, वो दिखाएगा कि हम ग्राउंड फ्लोर वाले हैं, फिर फर्स्ट फ्लोर, फिर सेकंड फ्लोर, एंड वहाँ तक फिर घर खत्म हो जाता है। मंजिलें तो होती ही नहीं थी, 5th and 6th and so on. And I was born in 1980 and I've seen Delhi change in front of my eyes. मैं आज फरीदाबाद में रहता हूँ, I've seen फरीदाबाद change in front of my eyes. मैंने ज़िंदगी भर गुड़गांव में काम किया है, I've seen गुड़गांव change in front of my eyes. मैंने बॉम्बे में काम किया है, I've seen Bombay completely transform. I was working in Dubai for 2 years and at the peak of its real estate change, जब बुर्ज खलीफा बन रहा था, I've seen that change. And the biggest element is two things coming together. Number 1, the economic growth of the country and thus its citizens, जो हम सब देखते आए हैं। आज हम एक ग्रैंड हायत के होटल में बैठे हैं and it's very normal for us now to be visiting such places, be having food at such places. मुझे अभी भी याद है जब मैंने माँ पापा को पहली बार एक 5-star होटल का खाना खिलाया था, मैं शायद 27 या 28 साल का था, और मुझे पता था कि ये खाना जो है वो अगले 3 महीने की मेरी सैलरी को काफ़ी बड़ा सा डेंट मारेगा। सो इट वॉज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक अ बिग लीप दैट आई हैड टू मेक। लेकिन आज हम फराटेदार कोई भी गाड़ी खरीद लेते हैं, 80-80 लाख की गाड़ियाँ दे रहे हैं एज योर, लाइक आई विश आई वाज अ चैनल पार्टनर, मैं यहाँ क्या कर रहा हूँ। And so much has changed in this country because of the economic growth, because of the prosperity that all of us have seen. And the second thing is development led by this growth. क्योंकि पैसा एक चीज होती है which could grow, but उस पैसे का best use कहाँ होगा, कहाँ डाला जाए, कहाँ उसको खर्च किया जाए, कैसे उस पैसे को best utilize और अनुभव किया जाए is also a very important thing. क्योंकि अगर हम फालतू चीज़ों में पैसा खर्च कर देंगे, विच थैंकफुली इंडिया डज नॉट, जैसे कि आई थिंक डीजे ने बताया कि सोना और ज़मीन, ये चीज़ हमारे लिए इतनी ज़रूरी रही है फॉर सेंचुरीज दैट आई थिंक द मिनट वी गेट मनी वी टेंड टू स्पेंड इट ऑन दीज 2 थिंग्स एज अ बिग इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड दे आर द बेस्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स। क्योंकि मैं एक ऐसे एरा से हूँ जहाँ सब कुछ डिजिटल है, सब कुछ टेक्नोलॉजी है, तो आप स्टॉक्स खरीदते हैं बट डिजिटल है, आप क्रिप्टो खरीद लीजिए लेकिन डिजिटल है, आप म्यूचुअल फंड्स खरीद लीजिए डिजिटल है, एंड देयर आर वेरी फ्यू एसेट्स दैट यू कैन ट्रूली टच एंड फील। सोना उनमें से एक है एंड जमीन उनमें से एक है। लाइक द फील ऑफ वॉकिंग ऑन योर लैंड, एंड आई हैड गूज़बम्प्स व्हेन आई सॉ दैट एवी ऑफ योर्स, जब वो मेहरा जी अपने लॉन में या अपने पोटेंशियल लॉन में घुसते हैं, एंड ही हैज दैट सेंस ऑफ प्राइड, and then the drone just zooms out to make him feel कि मैं इस ज़मीन का मालिक हूँ, and this will be generational for years and years.